Okay, we're here with Dr. Mark Miller at Texas Tech University. Dr. Miller is in the meat science department, and we've been spending some time looking at some beef carcasses and cutting some beef and discussing one of the attributes of beef that really matter to consumers. And wondered if you could just tell us a little bit about what are some of the key points that you really look for in beef that's going to appeal to the greatest number of consumers.
Well, I think we have a lot of consumers that prefer beef that is very tender and very flavorful and very juicy. And so one of the things that we would look for is a little better marbling. And so that choice and top choice and prime beef would really fit those consumers a great deal. However, we have some consumers in other regions of the country and places that like leaner beef, and so we would probably try to market some select beef to those guys and maybe age it a little bit longer to make sure we guarantee the tenderness that goes into that beef, because we have a high proportion of beef that's marketed as select, and it eats and feeds very well.
And you said that the marbling really corresponds very well. Research continues to show that it corresponds very well with some of the eating satisfaction, in particularly with tenderness and juiciness.
Absolutely. The research shows that we have a very linear relationship between marbling and fat level and consumers' liking of the product. And so our quality grading system we have here in the U.S., the USDA grading system, it really does a good job of getting correlated well with consumer satisfaction on beef.
And you talked quite a bit today, too, about some management factors that can really play a role in adding to the total value of the carcass, both by increasing the yield of the carcass, increasing the weight of the carcass, while also keeping that marbling within a range that's acceptable to consumers. I wonder if you could just talk a little bit about some of those concepts.
Yes, I think that our industry is a real challenge to be able to supply the protein needs of a larger increase in population worldwide. And so as a result of that, we have to use all the technology that's available to us to take our animals and be able to grow them to a higher weight level and be able to produce more protein on less inputs or the same amount of inputs, which certainly makes us more green, makes us less carbon using, and certainly more efficient as an industry. And so being able to do that using things that technology, which helps us through the growth promotants and through beta agonists to be able to get additional pounds out of the same animal and make sure that doesn't negatively have an impact on tenderness or flavor or juiciness, really a big important part of what we're facing in the beef industry.
And it seems like for the feed yard operators using some of those products, that it just takes some management in selecting the cattle that best fit a certain program, or fitting a program with the cattle to reach a desired endpoint, whether that's the yield or the quality grade or the size of the carcass, and maintaining that value to the consumer.
That's exactly right. We have to be able to know and have the knowledge how to manage those products that fit the consumer in every segment of the beef chain. If we don't really do a good job in management, then we get some things that cause problems like out-of-weight carcasses. Maybe we put that product into the cattle that don't need it, and we could end up with some tenderness problems. But we know that if we manage it and put it in the right cattle, we can end up being a much more efficient industry with producing the pounds we need to meet a growing protein demand worldwide and do it with less inputs, which that's going to make us a lot more green as an industry.
Great. I wonder if you could just finish up telling us a little bit about the meat science program here at Texas Tech and some of the things that you're doing with the students. Somebody talked a little bit earlier about some of the business experience they get with the meat sales program, and I wonder if you could just tell us just a little bit about some of the things you have going here with the students.
Sure. We have a really positive opportunity here at Texas Tech to be able to bring our students in and let them work within our business framework. We've established Raider Red Meats as a business opportunity, and so those students can come in and learn profit and loss equations. They can do forecasting and modeling, and it gives them a really bigger approach to what's going on, plus all the hands-on things of actually meat cutting and anatomy and the things that you really need to know to go out and hopefully help this beef industry survive for the next century.